What are they doing wrong? I mean, the officer just stops them and just arrests them? What for?
I'm not sure why the officer immediately detained him.
Really?
Whoa, right from the start, we're seeing confusion. Did the officer overstep? This is a good moment to pause and think. When does a traffic stop turn into probable cause for arrest?
Really? Is that what we do now? We just stop and arrest? Is it Gaston or Gaston?
Here's the legal breakdown: evading arrest and unlawful carrying of a weapon, 2 serious charges. Even first-time offenders could face steep penalties, but Gaston's facing up to a year and a $4,000 fine. That's not small potatoes.
Mr. Gaston, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with evading arrest or detention and unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine on both of those cases. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle speeding on Gulf Freeway feeder by radar device going 72 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The officer then observed the vehicle turn left at a red light. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer instructed the driver to step out of the vehicle, and the officer began to detain the driver. As the officer was detaining the driver, the front passenger, the defendant, exited the vehicle. The officer instructed the defendant to return to the vehicle, and the defendant ignored the officer's instructions and started to walk away. The officer ordered the defendant to stop, and the defendant started running northbound. The officer observed the defendant place his left hand near the front of his waistband and throw a small black and blue object near a fence. The officer informed other officers of the defendant's location. Officers observed the defendant running eastbound on the 3,300.
Notice how the conversation loops back. The community reaction is key. This is what makes Courtroom commentary so compelling. Every day, people questioning procedure versus law enforcement protocol. What would you do if you saw this? Comment below.
Block of Scott Street and attempted to apprehend the defendant. The defendant was apprehended at the 3100th block of Milby Street, approximately 0.2 miles away from the scene. The officers searched the area and located a firearm. The officer remained in visual contact with the location and no individuals approached that area.
What are they doing wrong? I mean, the officer just stops them and just arrests them? What for?
I'm not sure why the officer immediately detained him.
Really? Is that what we do now? We just stop and arrest? No. I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. Just be careful, man. If you have a gun, God forbid you use it, something happens, you dig yourself in a hole. Come on, man. We got one life. Be smart. Go to school, get some knowledge, make a ton of money, you know? Take a seat, please. Thanks, bud.
What's the last name, Judge?
Gaston.
Okay.
On both, no PC.
All right, Judge, next is page 6.
Did they arrest the driver? I mean, did they charge him with anything? Do you know? Do we have him for anything?
No, there's no connected case.
New defendant, new charges. Reckless driving seems minor compared to the first case, but the judge is already setting strict conditions: no license, insurance, or bond violations. Small infractions can escalate quickly in court.
Just driving while black.
Your Honor, I would just, I'm gonna point something out here. It was a speeding stop where the passenger was getting out of the car. I would say the officer would have the right to at least make sure the passenger was in the car while he was conducting a stop. That's his.
Yes.
I don't even think that's an arrestable offense. You know? It's not an arrestable offense. They just literally pull him out, he's speeding, and they arrest him. And then the co-defendant's doing nothing wrong. He just gets out of the car. He can just walk away. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. You were Eric Lemus.
Limas.
You ready?
Eric Limas. Eric Limas.
Mr. Lemus, you're charged with reckless driving.
You
You are facing up to 30 days in jail
hasta 30 días.
and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th,
El 15 de marzo
2025,
del 2025,
officers were working a
oficiales estaban
street
trabajando
racing takeover
en
operation
una operación
at
de la calle
909 Shepherd Drive
909
in
Shepherd
Harris
Drive en
County,
Condado
Texas.
Harris, Texas.
The officer
Los
observed a
oficiales
vehicle
observaron
fail
un
to signal a lane
vehículo que no
change and run a red light while
hizo
oncoming traffic was present.
y venía tráfico. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yes. The officer
Los
observed the
oficiales observaron
vehicle
un
fail to
vehículo que
signal a
no
lane
puso su
change
signal para cambiar
and
el
run a
carril
red
y se
light
pasó una luz roja
with oncoming
con
traffic.
tráfico que venía en su contra.
The vehicle then
El vehículo
continued
entonces
to weave
continuó
between lanes
a pasar entre los carriles
at speeds
pasar de un
exceeding
carril a otro
60 miles per
a
hour
la velocidad de hasta
in a
60
35 miles per
por
hour
hora
zone.
en una zona de 35 millas por hora.
The passenger was
El pasajero
seen
se
hanging
vio
out of the window
por la ventana, la ventanilla,
while the vehicle was in
mientras el
motion.
vehículo estaba en marcha.
A traffic stop was
Se hizo
initiated.
un alto.
The defendant denied his
El
actions
tráfico,
and the
el acusador negó sus acciones al
officer
oficial. El
informed him
oficial
that
le
they would be on
informó
camera.
que estaban en cámara.
Officer informed what?
El
The
oficial
defendant that
observó
they
que
would be on camera,
el
the dash
acusado
cam.
estaba
Okay, so
grabado en
just pulls him
cámara.
out. Does he ask for a license, insurance, anything like that? Just pulls him out and arrests him?
At that point, they did,
En ese
I believe they
momento,
arrested him for
creo que lo
reckless driving.
arrestaron por manejo imprudente.
Yes, you. Mr. Lemus, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go
Gente
forward
causa
with your
probable-
case. Can you run him to see if he has a Texas driver's license, please?
Here's a crucial insight. The defendant is a minor. That changes the legal landscape significantly. Court-appointed lawyers, bond conditions, and careful monitoring this is how the system balances accountability with protection for minors.
He does not have a
Pregunta si
license.
tiene licencia de manejar. No, no tiene licencia.
Mr. Lemus,
Señor Limas,
if you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, then you are
seguro,
not allowed to drive.
permite manejar.
That is a condition of your bond.
Son
If I
fianzas.
find that you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with.
Él bajo custodia hasta
And then
que
you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
él lo entiende. Tiene cosas tan-
Yes or no?
Sí o no? Yes.
How old are you, sir?
¿Qué edad tiene usted, señor?
17.
17.
Okay. I will provide you a lawyer today. So what we'll do is I'll have you fill out an application for me for a court-appointed lawyer.
Para una
I'm going to have you sign your reset with Victoria. I will have you take a seat in the jury box while we find you a lawyer. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
arresto.
Okay, please, Deputy Rand, if you don't mind. Mr. Torres, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th, 2025 at 3:34 a.m., officers made a traffic stop and asked for a second officer to make scene as well. The officer observed a silver Chevrolet Malibu with no headlights on. The officer approached the driver's side and observed the defendant to be behind the wheel. And
Hold on a second. Ladies, move away from each other, please. Miss Uloa,
The officer approached the driver's side and observed the defendant to be behind the wheel and operating the vehicle. The officer observed glassy eyes and odor of an alcoholic beverage. The second officer, a DRE, observed a mild odor of an alcoholic beverage, bloodshot eyes, and unsteady balance. The defendant stated that he was coming from the library and drank 2 beers,
the
18
library?
from
Judge Simpson lays it down hard, no excuses. Even heroics won't override the law. This is a teachable moment. Understanding bond conditions and legal limits isn't optional. If you violate them, consequences are immediate.
the library. I don't know your honor.
Sure. Popular
and then-
library, I tell you.
He drank 2 beers 18 to 24 hours ago. SMSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HDN, a 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 3 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The defendant was arrested and declined to provide a sample, so a blood warrant was signed.
I forgot what the stop was. What was the stop for?
No headlights at night.
Mr. Torres, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Sir. Can you run him to see if he has any prior WIs and if he has a driver's license?
Not any priority WIs. His license is ineligible.
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 You are not allowed to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life and I don't care what you got to do. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kittens. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand? Sir, you will be signing an affidavit with me today. This is a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not to drive. There's no justification that you can give for getting into a car and driving. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Hire a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are going to give you time. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. After that, you will get with Felicia for your bond condition. And after that, you're free to go. Be careful and protect my community, because if I find that you're a danger to it, it's not going to go well for you. You understand?
Sir.
Okay, come on.